Why do R&B and gospel singers seem to sing forever and like never seem to have to take a breath? Common misconception, they just have bigger lungs. Not even true. Welcome to my channel. I'm Shakira, your vocal coach at Keys to the Vox Vocal Academy. This is my channel, Keys to the Vox. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button. Share this video. Tell everybody you know. Let's get the momentum going, everybody. So we're here today to talk about R&B and gospel singers and their breath. All week we've been talking about breath support, proper breathing, and I've been giving you tips in my shorts about it. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. And we're talking about specifically R&B singers and gospel singers who are known to just have this great breath capacity and be able to just kind of breathe and sustain these long, big notes often. I've got about 5 points today that I'm going to talk about with this specific topic. Number one, they manage their airflow. They're not just breathing regularly throughout the whole song. Some parts do require regular breaths, but they're managing that airflow very well. So it's not about just taking a big breath. I mean, you've got to take small breaths in some places. Shorter phrases might require small breaths. One common misconception is that if you want to sing bigger notes and belt, that you have to take huge breaths. And it's quite the opposite, actually. You do not need as much air to get those big notes out and that big sound as you might think. Efficient airflow helps the breath to last longer. So you got to use that core, guys. We're going back to the basics. You got to take that air in and use those abdominal breathing exercises that we talk about and that you can find on my channel also. You got to breathe through the belly. Some call it belly breathing. And you'll find a lot of that in yoga and fitness stuff. And it's really helpful. And as you breathe, especially the part where you're exhaling and singing out, you're going to engage your core muscles. Those abdominal muscles are going to help you to sustain these notes, to support the voice and get a nice, strong, controlled sound through using that airflow. We want a steady airflow. If you are wasting less air, then that means you're going to have a better sustained note. The air is going to be working for you. I always try to say, make your breath work for you. So you want to make all that air that you're inhaling, you don't want it to just escape and just run out. You don't want it to be like a balloon when you just kind of let it go and it's like you want to make sure that you got a steady leak that is working for you. That in combination with the abdominal muscles putting in some work behind it, or in steady pushing steadily rather, you're going to make that air work for you. You want to get that oscillation of the vocal folds going at a steady, rapid pace. Number two, they do not push more than what they actually need to. You can damage something doing that. Excess tension uses more air. So if you're causing more tension and you're pushing hard, of course you're pushing all the air out too fast. I mean, it's plain as simple as that. Don't push too hard. When you oversing and you force the voice, you can shorten your phrases. Your voice, you have to be nice to your vocal folds. You have to be nice to your voice and gentle with it, okay? It is made of gelatinous material. It is soft. It is fragile. And if you push too hard, you're going to reap the repercussions, really. I mean, you can damage your voice, yes, that way by pushing too hard. You can cause too much backed up pressure on the vocal folds as the air is trying to go out, and you're not going to get the sound that you're looking for, and you're going to lose a bunch of air in the process. The bottom line is, if you're singing properly and efficiently, it should feel easier. It should not feel harder. You're going to feel work because your body is doing physical work to get a sound out, especially a big sound out. Yes, there's muscles involved. Yes, there's going to be some tension involved, but healthily, like a healthy amount, a balanced amount, but it should feel easy for the voice to work, for the voice to produce this sound. It shouldn't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm just trying so hard and it's not happening. That could be a sign that you're doing too much. You gotta dial back now and not force too much. Of course, if you ever feel pain, stop what you're doing right away. Number three, they think ahead. Good singers, these R&B and gospel singers, these powerhouses are thinking ahead. Now, thinking ahead could be in a couple ways. You can think ahead before performance and your practice time. Sure, you should definitely be doing that. They're planning their breaths, okay? So as you're practicing these songs, you're planning ahead. You're thinking, where am I going to breathe? You're trying some things, and if it doesn't work, go back, try again, try something different. Oh, I didn't get that in one breath, so I got to breathe here. I got to sneak a breath here. Now, plan these breaths, because if you don't, you can find yourself in a performance situation going down, okay? Performance is going down, you are out of breath, voice is just all over the place, cracking, letting out on you. You don't want any of that to happen either. Now, I mentioned sneak breaths. Some people call them catch breaths, but they got to be quick and they've got to be efficient. They've got to work, okay? It's got to be a good breath. Now, what I often say is like a gasp. It's like a quick gasp, right? So if I'm singing, and I will always love you. Now, the trick to that is to try to make that breath quick, yes, but quiet and sneaky. So you might not want to go like a big gasp, but you want like a quiet, quick, deep gasp. Quiet, quick, and deep gasp. So that you can get the air that you need. And usually we use this if there's a phrase where there's like nowhere to breathe, there's notes everywhere, and you just got to get some air in so that you can finish it out. Now, your coordination is way more important than your lung capacity. Everybody's lung size is different. Everybody's ability is different. Everybody's background is different. Somebody's a swimmer, somebody's not. And it's fine. We can help increase our lung capacity by working out and doing things, the breathing exercises and singing. We can increase that lung capacity, but the most important thing is your vocal coordination. You got to make sure that if you're singing in the belt style or thicker vocal placements, that you are making sure that the vocal folds are coming together. You're not trying to sing a belt through a breathy falsetto-y tone. That's not going to work. It's literally a whole different place. You got to be in the thick vocal fold placement. You got to make sure that the voice is doing what it needs to do, that you bring in those vocal folds together, that they touch, that they make complete closure to get the sound that you want. In that case, if you're not doing that, air is going to escape. It's just going to. The vocal folds have to come together and touch in order for sound to be produced. If they're not touching, you're not producing any sound. If they're touching lightly, you're producing light sound, and that means that more air is escaping through. So you got to bring those vocal folds closer together and give a little bit of a thicker, more present sound for R&B and gospel singing. Now, number 5, style matters. R&B and gospel singers shape their phrases very intentionally, okay? So the phrasing, as you change genres, phrasing changes also in style, right? So in gospel and in R&B, singers are intentionally making the choices that they're making. And with that, their breaths, we go back to planning your breaths, right? They know where the breaths work. In order to breathe, I need to sing this phrase like this. Here's an example. Daniel Caesar and Her on Best Part. I just wanna see how, breathe, beautiful you are, breathe. You know that I see it. I know you're a star, right? So the phrases are the way that they sang them that way so that they could breathe in between each one. Those were perfect places to breathe. So dynamics, storytelling, and phrasing all influence breath use, even in a situation where you might be ad-libbing. Let's go to the end of that song. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? So there's breaths there. If you love me, won't you? Right? And even if I was ad-libbing that, I would go, if you love me, won't you? I could do it like that. I'm breathing, won't you? But I'm only doing that for stylistic effect, for emotional effect, to just kind of like pull on your heartstrings a little bit, to create a moment for you to feel. So the breaths were instrumental in trying to convey the storyline, convey the vibe of the song and of the moment, even portray intimacy. And sometimes they just choose to breathe for expression, not simply because they have to. So that goes in line with what I showed you too. If you love me, won't you? So here are some practical tips to walk away with. Practice singing on less air. You can actually blow air out before singing a phrase. Like if I'm about to sing, if you love me, won't you? I don't go, if you love me, won't you say something? It's too much air. It's just trying to come out, right? You can actually blow out. Take a breath, blow out, and then sing. If you love me, won't you say something? I actually end up engaging my core muscles, my abs, a little bit more in that process because I don't have much air left. I'm at the end of my air there. I still have some to get the line out, but if I blow some out, then I can get more tension in my abs to help give me a more supported and thicker sound and present sound, really. And if you're singing and using sheet music or lyrics, mark your breaths in the music. You ever see those little commas? We always mark them in school as commas. Put a comma there. And if you're reading a sentence, if you're reading a book, you breathe at the comma. The comma is a pause. So put the breath mark comma in your music or in your lyrics to remind you to take a breath there. And that's in the planning, right? You plan in the breath, write it down. And look for places where you might be leaking air, places where there might be too much of a breathy tone or tension or pushing. If you're pushing too hard in some places, right? So go back and while you're singing, think while you're singing, identify and look for some things that you could fix or that might be clues to places where you can make some slight changes. So now that we've come to the end of the video, I want you to remember, long phrases aren't just about having more breath. You got to use your breath more efficiently. Okay, so you got to make sure that you're not wasting your breath. Okay, and I know I'm laughing because I'm a mom, so they made me think about how many times I had to repeat things all day. I don't want to waste my breath. I don't want you to waste your breath in singing. Okay, I don't want you to let it just go. Make it work for you. All right, you're paying this breath. You're the boss. Make it work. And once again, the more that you understand your voice, the easier the singing thing will start to feel. Once you know this instrument well, I'm telling you, all these other instrumentalists, they play their external instruments, they know that thing. They know the names of the parts of their instrument. They know how to care for it. They know how to replace their strings. They know how to oil it up. They know how to put it in the case. They know everything about their instrument. And how much do you know about yours? That's a question I want you to ask yourself. And as you answer that question, you will know what it is that you need to know about your instrument. Go learn it. Go find it out. Or come back here. Subscribe here. That's a great closer. Subscribe to my page because I'm going to tell you. Okay? I'm going to make sure you know everything you need to know about this instrument and how to use it in a healthy and efficient way. All right? Subscribe, share, like. I'm Shakira with Keys to the Vox. This is my channel, Keys to the Vox, the Keys to the Vox Vocal Academy. We're going places. Stick with me, all right? And happy singing.